It's a good team. I spent a lot of time today working on getting, like, fucking with my camera settings a bit, as well as setting up a couple of alert stuff. Just generally studying this, trying to get better at it. And the other option, or the other thing I need to get better at, is just straight up doing it and talking to myself. So that's what we're going to do today. You might see I'm a bit more beautifully colored because I'm fucking with the camera settings right now. Might get a better light or something. Who's to say? But right now, all I am to say is we're beating the goddamn Ender Dragon on the latest version of Minecraft. I was going to do it in 1.16.1, like the actual speedrun version, but like when I play that version, it's too much just locking in and doing the same shit over and over again, because I've been playing the FSG version, and that's just boring. This is way more fun, and I have more fun talking while I'm doing it, so we're going to run hardcore. What should the seed be? Because I like to name the seed. Let's just name it Mascot, because that's what I wanted to talk about. Sorry, making sure my chair is perfectly aligned, because you got to make sure. The thing about Minecraft, the thing about streaming, is you need to make sure the ergonomics are the most important thing. And that way, when you die, or when you fuck up, it's not actually your fault, it's that you weren't ergonomically supported enough. And that you can take to the bank. Man, okay, whatever, I'm freaking out right now. Jesus, what was I talking about? Oh, yikes! That was me setting up one of the widgets. It did it again. What the fuck? Excuse me? Why can't I copy paste? If I control A, control C, control V. Okay, my God. Anyway, I was thinking today, I think there need to be more mascots. I don't think there's ever been like a mascot I don't like. And I'm willing to be challenged on that. Oh wait, let's start this. Like obvious, like I'm a Nuggets fan, and so Rocky, who's their little dinosaur guy, just one of the best mascots of all time. I think he's the highest paid mascot, at least in the NBA. I don't know if like in all sports and all of like the big four, but all I know is Rocky is very cool. And then when I mean more things need mascots, I'm talking like Buc-ee's. That I'm gonna run through the desert. Like that damn beaver for like a gas station. You don't know. I can't name like another gas station. I guess that's not true. I was gonna say I can't name another gas station like off the dome right now that I enjoy. But there's a couple out there when you drive enough. But like Buc-ee's rocks. Like that's it's not even. It's like people are driving through the worst parts of the country, and they're driving for fucking hours, and then they go, you know what? Let's see if we can find a Buc-ee's to stop at. And it's not like I need to stop somewhere. Just fucking find the first place along the way. It's like find the place with the beaver. I think that's really cool. There's another mascot I was thinking of, but I can't recall what it was. Let's start giving things mascots. That's tough because my mind immediately goes to Eli Lilly. Well, I was like, what's the worst thing that could institute? Maybe they don't need a mascot. I feel like any evil-style institution, they don't really need a mascot. But like I watched a video on like the Angels, like the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They like tried to introduce a mascot, and then everyone like hated it. And I don't understand that. I love a mascot. Especially if you're a sports team. Why the fuck wouldn't you have a mascot? I guess for me, I'm just so full of whimsy, and that's never going to change. I'm also young and invincible, which is also something that's never going to change. But, like, I've gotten no, like, I remember when I was a kid, I was like, oh, dude, fucking, like, when I was living in Colorado, I was like, dude, there's Rocky right there, you know? Like, that was the coolest shit of all time. I'm trying to push my camera down. Like, meeting the dinosaur, or Dinger, like the Rockies mascot, Dinger. I love that purple Triceratops, right? I'm now an adult. Like, I went to a Prospect League baseball game a couple years ago. I'm probably older than bro in the suit, but I met the fucking mascot, and I was like, dude, let me get a picture. If you're a guy in a suit, I'm taking a picture with you. I think that's mainly what it is with me. If you're a guy and one of them in like a mascot style suit, you're getting in this photo. And I'm gonna be smiling ear to ear. If you hate mascots, like, what's wrong? I don't understand how people could dislike a mascot. I guess if you're like a sports team fan, no, fuck it. Actually, if you're like the fan of a sports team that, I'm talking about the Angels, that like hasn't had a mascot for like the whole time it's been around, and then they try to introduce one, and it like doesn't fully encapsulate the team, oh well, that's the tax you need to pay for not having had a mascot this long. It should have been the first or second thing you think of, is what's the team? That's probably the third thing. You think of the team name, you think of, like, when you have the city picked out, you think of the team name, you think of the logo, which includes, like, colors and whatnot, and then you think of, well, what's the walk-around mascot gonna look like? I don't understand how you can have a sports team and just, like, kind of have that go by the wayside. That's, like, the most important thing. For the longest time when I was growing up, like, my dream, honestly, wasn't to be, like, an athlete, to be, like, a LeBron or like, an all-star fucking, like, multi-million-dollar player. My dream was I wanted to be a mascot. Because I was like, dude, you get to walk around in that suit and, like, do cool, like, people like to, you, like, you know, like, you walk around, you shake people's hands, kids are excited to see you, take pictures with people, you do backflips and whatever. That's cool as hell. The problem with... I wonder if this actually was ever an issue, because Dinger is the Rockies mascot, and he's a purple Triceratops, and I believe the reason for that is because Colorado, or I don't know if it was particularly when they were making Coors Field, or like just generally like a reference to Denver or Colorado as a whole, because Denver and Colorado used to be like a dinosaur hotbed, because in like the Pangea days, it was like what was it, like a beach style climate, I think was the deal. And so they have hella dinosaur bones everywhere you look. I thought I heard something. And so, but when and the Rockies are purple, and I believe that's in reference to Purple Mountain Majesties in America the Beautiful. Everything's aligning, right? However, I think the team formed sometime in the 90s. I think it was mid 90s is when the Rockies formed. And if you're saying, hey, mid 90s purple dinosaur, like, I'm sorry, but you're not thinking Dinger. You're not thinking Colorado Rockies. You're thinking Barney. What's good? Elsa Plays 87. We're talking mascots right now. And the problem, I don't know if that ever got any like bad publicity for the Rockies, but like and this might not even be true, but the only thing I remember really about that show Barney is because there was some like preschool rumor that the dude who was in the Barney suit got fucking like arrested, and that was just good fun to just let the imagination go nuts with that shit. Of just this dude who... That's game is good. Thank you. That dude who's behind the children's show, the I Love You, You Love Me style dinosaur. Oh, you know what? He actually, on set, was a bad dude and ended up getting arrested. Especially before, like, Google, that was just, whoa, that was the coolest thing. And then you'd tell everyone. It's crazy how rumors got around. It's your favorite game. I'd say so. Sorry. Yeah, I think a lot about how some of those, like, about how, like, I think people have talked about for the longest time, that stylized S, how things spread across, like, similarly aged kids before social media is crazy. Like, the fact that everybody I think there was actually a study about this, of how it was, like, the I hate you, you hate me style parody of the Barney song. Or no, it was Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. That was what it was. Everybody has, like, a different version of that, but it permeated everybody in the same, like, age. I saw a post today where someone was talking about how Gen Z insults all are, like, accepted, like, subtly accepting of the fact that that everybody is watching you and you're feeling some sense of shame. Do you stream daily? Listen, man, I don't want to buy any of your art. I think I can just tell where this is going, and I'm just gonna put that down right now. So, the references for Gen Z insults being, like, everybody's watching you embarrass yourself, it was like he thought he ate, and then just saying, like, chat, he's cooked. And it was interesting because it was talking about, I think the quote retweet I saw on that was, they are accepting of the panopticon that everybody is in, and that's the problem with giving kids phones. And my response to that was, how many sides are on a panopticon? I thought of that now. That makes me laugh a lot. So that one's just for me. I might be live right now, but I'm streaming for me. So you could take it or leave it. What else is on the mind? I mean, yeah, other mascots that I like. I think I really like knowing and, like, memorizing mascots or like I guess it would be mascots, because it's an elite trait to be able to have someone be like you go, like, oh, where'd you go to school? And they're like, oh, I went to Western Missouri. And you go, ah, the Griffins. And then just like knowing that's the only thing I know about these schools. But knowing the mascot is great. It's one of my favorite things to know. What else? What else is on the old dome? Let's take that. I really thought that I would get more traction out of talking about mascots, but fucking, I guess that's how that cookie crumbles. I've really enjoyed something I really like to do is I find different ways of, I guess I'll just use an example first. So I found out how fun it is to bucket things into calling them a real swallowing the spider to catch the fly situation, where it's like it's like you're doing one thing that probably isn't that great as a means of stopping something that also isn't that great. For example, I have a friend who was trying to quit using Zins, and he works in a restaurant, and so it's tough to, when you're in that kind of space, it's tough to to avoid it, you know? So he said, what I'm gonna do is I'm to help myself quit using Zins, I'm gonna start smoking cigarettes. And then he texted me a couple days later, and he said, I've got to admit, cigarettes have hands too. I was like, you're really swallowing the spider to catch the fly there. That's the kind of, that's how I like to use that. God damn it. I need to kill the iron golem. But there's another. Oh, what was the other one? It was swallowing the spider to catch the fly. Man, I just thought of it, and it's exited my mind forever now. And now we'll never know. Man. Okay. I'm definitely gonna get fucked up by brutes in the nether, and I'm excited for that. Man, I'm... Okay. I don't even have wood yet. Oh my god. Alright, what else is on the old noggin? Do you remember that show, Noggin? Do you remember that? I don't know why I was talking about it, but do you remember that, that show Face? That was on Nick Jr., and it was just... Ooh, wood. It was just, like, a whole screen... I feel like there should be, or there probably exists, some kind of ARG or creepypasta about that show Face, and about why it was only a face. That's a lot of just the ARGs that exist, or not ARGs, what is it? Analog horrors that exist right now is just, like, thing from childhood, but with, like, grainy VHS-style texturing on it, and... like a lot of feedback and just dark, like feedback in the microphone, and then dark, like footage, and then loud noise. That's really a lot of analog horror. What's also really fun, I mean, I think what's really funny about analog horror is like the fact that it's now kind of come around, and it's such a popular thing that it's going to reach a point where the majority of people who are making it and consuming it are people who never interacted with the real things in their lives. Like, they just completely missed out on that part. And I think that's interesting, because it goes to show that the concept of a thing being analog just makes it scary, I guess. Which is interesting, because people didn't really fuck with the whole found footage style. Well, I guess, I mean, I'm really only talking about Cloverfield. I can't name another... I guess, no, Blair Witch. I know that. But that was different, because that was something that had never been done before. But that was more of an ARG, right? Because it had that whole website going on, and people legitimately didn't know if it was real or not. Whereas Cloverfield came out, and people were just mainly concerned that T.J. Miller was running around with a camera shaking it everywhere, and it was impossible to follow what was going on. I've also never seen Cloverfield. This is just what I think I watched the Cinema Sins video on it 10 years ago. And that's the real sin. Ding! Man, fuck that guy. Am I right? Am I right, folks? I also don't... I think I also saw one video just called Why Cinema Sins Sucks, and I went, sure. But hey, I'm here to just hate and then ask questions later. Hate first, ask questions later. Everyone's guilty until proven innocent. I don't remember what it was, but... And, you know... I have one viewer right now, and it's me, to make sure that the stream is still up. So to everyone who's watching, to the millions watching at home, stick around long enough, and you'll come to learn this real quick. One of my favorite things to do, and something I think I'm really good at, is being annoying. I think I'm phenomenal at that, but I'm self-aware enough to. There was a point, like just this last week, where I'm just prodding. I joined a Discord call, and I'm just poking. You know, I'm at the touch tank at the aquarium, straight up grabbing. Right? I'm there just to be annoying, and I can tell by my friend who I'm grabbing is really just not feeling it, and he's already through with me. And so after like I say something, Oh, I almost clutched that. Tough scene. Okay. This one's just going to be annoying. That's really embarrassing. I'm typically pretty good at that. God damn it. I'm really annoyed that I didn't hit that. Fuck. Annoying. I actually don't. I mean, basically, all I said was, I was like, am I the most annoying guy that you know? Fucking come on. And so I'm able to recognize... Oh, wait, shit. I'm able to recognize when I'm being too much. And I think that's good. What was I going to say? Oh, for Halloween, was the other week, I was, I was briefly appeared on stream as the Grinch. And, that's what I ended up going out as. The Grinch costume that I had was one of the most annoying costumes I've ever donned in my life. It's not because, and it was a great costume. Like, it looked phenomenal. The only problem was it shed so much. Like, it was a problem how much it was shedding, because hold on. It came with these gloves where the fur would, like, come over the finger, like, by a lot. Like, my finger, if it was fully stretched out, the fur went out to, like, here, right? I hope that makes... It was a whole, like, 4 or 5 inches off of the finger, like, adding it in length, and it just shed the most green, like, bright green fur you've ever seen. When I was on stream, I put on the mask for, like, 15 seconds, and fucking I ended up hacking up a lung for the next, like, 15 minutes. Imagine, that was just around my face. Imagine having a hand where everything you touch is immediately covered in green fur. Because that's what I did. Allegedly, when I was taking shots, I was like, and I was wearing it because, you know, love of the game. I fully knew that this was going to be a problem, but again, love of the game. I would just get fur all over the rim of the glass, allegedly, when I was doing that. What is going on with this fucking game? My God. Do I need to, like, allocate more memory or something? What's happening? Alright, you know what? Hold up. Let's go... Let me open up a new instance. Because I'm not doing all that. You know what? Fuck it. We're playing Would You Rather again. I didn't want to play that Would You Rather mod again because I felt like when I was trying to get clips from the previous stream, I was very much like, I realized I kept getting cut off by the Would You Rather thing because I needed to process what was going on. But, like, I've played a lot of Minecraft, man. Let's try this mod. Let's see here. I'm adjusting the width of the window. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh, wait, shit. This isn't... No, I did this all wrong. I've done this all wrong. Hold up. Also, I don't know if you clocked that. That person who joined was a bot. They were gonna say, "Ooh, can I ask you to make art?" And I really want to make an overlay and then hotkey it to something on my keyboard so that when someone like that joins, it's just like the Foxy jump scare or something, and it just says, "I don't want to buy your art." I need to do something that's like high enough effort to where it's like, "Oh, I've thought about this," you know? What am I playing? Here we go. Can I edit the instance? Window. Okay. And then play. This was a pretty fun mod. There's a couple of like Would You Rathers that I didn't even end up getting on the last stream that I did in some just like testing. And it's good. It's well made. So. Oh, now I need to make a new fucking god damn it. All right, hold on. Now I need to add a new game capture. We're going to make it. Hold up. We're almost there. Could this be it? No. Could this be it? Yeah, alright. And then now we drag it all the way down. Oh, wait, shit. No, not here. Fuck. Can I remove? Yes, alright. We need to make that gameplay. Perfect! Hot dog. Oh, okay. I didn't even need to add a new one. Sweet. Alright, so these are... these are the names from the previous stream. That woman pasture clip, I don't know if I can even clip it, but I thought it was really funny. So hopefully we can get another clip. We're going to be clip maxing here. Let's just do... Yeah, fuck it. We're doing hardcore. Okay. The Dodgers won the World Series the other week. See that, folks? It is nuts. And you know what? This is a... Get ready for an entirely new take that you've never heard before. It's nuts that they can just pay Shohei 700 M's, but, like, deferred over 10 years. Oh, shit. Like, that's kind of nuts. I don't know if I have anything else to say about it. It's like buying a bond, almost. Like, imagine he didn't pan out. Of course he would, because it's fucking Shohei Ohtani, but, like, imagine he didn't pan out, because who's that dude on the Mets who's still getting, like, $1 million every year until, like, 2032? That's the life right there. I think my goal, if I ever became a professional athlete, was get some kind of contract like that with payments deferred so, like, long in the future that it gets to a point where in the last, like, where people will start going, like, wait, we're still paying him, and we've still got 10 years left in that contract. I don't know what I set the Would You Rather timer to. Shit. Well, we're going to play for, I guess, 3 minutes. I don't even think I need... fuck it. We'll keep it on. Well, yeah, we'll play till 3 minutes, and then we'll figure out what's what. A thought I had recently was about how dating is like... I don't know why I'm mining this. There's a lot of, like, prison terminology that's used when you're dating someone or single looking to date. There's a lot of prison terminology that's being used. Like, you're saying you're cuffed is one, and then, like, the old ball and chain. You know? It's what the the parallel I saw was like we went whatever. Never mind. This is I'm actually just not gonna get there. So never mind. Fuck. This whole talking to myself thing isn't going well. What else we got going on here? I wonder if I'll ever find... I wonder what the most precious mineral I'll ever find in real life is. Like, there's no way I'm ever gonna, like, find a diamond, right? And I don't mean, like see a diamond. Like unearth something. I think I follow someone on Instagram who's a paleontologist. And like every now and again, he'll just post like an Instagram story of him just in the middle of fuck-ass nowhere in Idaho. And he's like, snapping turtle today. And then it's him like at like one of those sectioned off dig sites. And he's just like, yep, found like a 400 million year old bone today. And it's like, that is a cool thing to do. Because you're like discovering shit. That's like being an archaeologist, you know? That's cool. Your job is explorer at that point. That's cool as fuck. Everyone who like and this is me included, everybody who sits at a desk and like looks at a screen all day, I don't care what kind of screen it is. You could be the president. You could be the president of the goddamn US of A. But like, I feel like, all right, so new thing. Actually, let's pivot now. Do you think the president what do you think the president's screen time is? Is the president like fucking Shams Charania? And he just like during like free agency, when he's averaging 23 hours of screen time, do you think there's ever a day where the president's like always on call, or do you think people tell him? Surely, and I'm not talking about the current administration, I mean the president as like a concept. Surely people will like, he like has a team of everyone to like summarize it for him, right? He doesn't need to like go, well, okay. I was gonna say he doesn't really need to go on like Twitter or anything to get his news. Or hers, once again, their news. But you get what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, what's going on today? And then like open Twitter, go to trending. Like, you don't necessarily need to do that when you're the fucking president, right? I feel like you kind of earn your stripes where you can. That's probably got to be the job where you have the most, where you're the most I've got a guy for that kind of guy ever, right? Like if you're the president, you get so many guys. There's like you got to have like a breakfast guy. I mean, I guess it's a chef. There's one chef for every meal, but it's like you have a chef, you have a food guy, right? Do you think the president has his own cobbler? And I'm not talking chef, like a shoe guy. Or do you think the president gets like first of the line access on the sneakers app? Is fucking DJ T45 gonna be showing out with the Ben and Jerry's dunks? Or does he open his phone and it goes it goes next time, or what is the thing that isn't got him? It's like not this time. It's like he opens it and he doesn't get the whole got him script. Like the second you open it and it's just like a wall of text that you don't even need to read, that it starts with like, unfortunately you weren't selected, because you know if it doesn't start with that animated thing that says got him, you didn't get the shoe. And imagine he's sitting at some fuck ass meeting where they're talking about what the country is that they're gonna persecute next, and he's just like, this is fucking boring, and he pulls out his phone, he goes on X, and do you think who do you think the first president is who's gonna have played Game Pigeon? You know? It would be so sick to oh dude, the first president, how many presidents away do you think, or I guess like if we're on what, like 47 right now, how many administrations until we have a president that grew up playing Clash of Clans? Like if someone they're gonna know. When are we gonna get a Town Hall 11 ass president? See, a guy like me, I've never played Clash of anything, right? Clash Royale, Clash of Clans, never done that. My thing that I have, like, observed just entirely on my own is, all right, so hey, I'll tell you what, don't have the Would You Rather mod installed. But that's fine. We have a pretty decent run right now. Yeah, like, that's so, because how you need to be 35 to be president. Oh, what's the math there? Whatever, I'm not going to do it. But, like, there's going to be a president that grew up playing Clash Royale, or, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, fucking sooner than I think we expect. And it's not because, it's like, oh, well, fucking, it takes gotta wait until they're 35. It's not, I expect it to be fucking, it's none of that. It's, you're going to forget about it. And then one day you're going to wake up, and you're going to look at the two candidates for the next election, and you're going to go, and you're going to have the realization, you're going to go, oh my god, one of them is this age, and one of them is this age, which means that they were born in these years respectively. Holy fuck, they were playing Clash of Clans on the iPhone 5s during lunch at high school, or middle school, or whatever. Like, that's crazy. And then they're going to be leading the country. And maybe that's like the War Games approach, where it's like Supercell is actually, it's actually a psyop. It's an MK Ultra style experiment to see whoever can lead the best clan will then be given the throne of president. That'd be cool. 'Cause, like, all right, this is completely jumping ship. What I think is interesting, or what was I going to say? There was some parallel I drew earlier this week about how, like, in Hawaii, when they would select the the emperor from, once, like, I don't know, elected or named emperor. You're not elected when you're emperor, but whenever the next emperor is crowned, right? Some like kid from birth is just decided you're gonna be the one to bury the emperor. And, like, that is apparently a big deal for the family of that kid, right? Because, like, they move up in social status and everything, but they just go about their normal lives, except for when the emperor finally dies. They were very secretive. Oh, shit. They're very secretive about where they bury the emperors because they don't want anyone defiling their graves, right? So what they do is they'd go to the top of some fuck-ass cliff, right? They go to the top of the cliff. Bro, whose job it is, would go down on a rope. They'd tie himself, or he'd tie himself around the waist, and then a couple people would lower him down onto the cliff. He would scamper around, emperor's body in tow. I assume he's on another rope. And then he'd dig into the cliffside, put the emperor's body in there, and then, because they didn't, like, they'd put him on the sheer cliffside because they didn't want anyone fucking with him, right? Like, this is like a volcanic cliffside, so it's like hard rock dug into the side. It's like 100 feet above sea level, and these waves are crashing into the side. But because they're so secretive, and they really don't want, if you knew where it was, you still probably wouldn't be able to get there. But they really didn't want anyone to be there so bad that after old boy carves older boy into the side of the rock, he's down there with, like, the emperor's body, a fucking, like, chisel and hammer, I assume, and then a knife. And so he uses chisel and hammer, dig out the hole, put the emperor's body in, and then afterwards he has to cut his line and just fucking die. And, like, me personally, I'm getting a call. Well, I think that's all, actually. I just wanted to go live and get this clip out, but you get what I'm saying about this fucking emperor, right? Anyway, that's all. I'm gonna end.